Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I will be taking you through proceedings tonight as per normal. Oh, feels like an absolute age since Bahrain, the last race, and I'll take you through what happened there. Bahrain, a track that gave us wonderful starts, and unfortunately, it wasn't a wonderful start though for Bush, who was given a 4 penalty points onto his license for an avoidable contact at the start. Sorry to start the stream on a dire note, but that's the big talk with that one. He was given it because he rammed into the back of pretty much everyone, and lots of positions were maimed. But anywho, on to the championship standings, because in the lead is T. Jonas in the Sauber, ahead of Linel in the Toro Rosso. Then it's then it gets fun, because then it's Uzi in P3, then Farfborough in P4, and I can only read those because for some reason my tablet is not enjoying the copied standings, so I can't exactly read them. What I can take you through is the top 3, which is T. Jonas, Linel, and Farfborough. Sorry, not Farfborough, Uzi. So the top 3, they're all pretty evenly matched, and right now Linel is in P2, and he's the closest challenger to T. Jonas, who has had a win and a second place on the trot. The last race's winner being Uzi himself, the Scotsman in the Mercedes, who had a brilliant run last week, pretty much flawless for his efforts. Still on to China. China is a fantastic track, and it's a track which has given us great racing over the years. It gave us my best position in Season 2, which was a P4, before I retired midway through. And yeah, China obviously giving us extra other races. Like, I believe it was Mercedes' first win in the modern era, or that might have been Malaysia, one of the two. And it was definitely Red Bull's first win in Formula 1 with Sebastian Vettel back in 2009. But more importantly, this is going to be a brilliant race to see how everyone has progressed over the week from Bahrain to China. China being a track where, well, it's very fast and very tricky. You're going to have interesting incidents if there are if there's rain. There's going to be interesting moments. See how the drivers set up their car, whether it's going to be that big second longest straight in Formula 1, or it'll be for the twisty tighty corners that come afterwards. But I'd mainly do it for the car, for the straight. So I'll try and work out what is happening. As we're heading over to the track, we have 15 drivers tonight, and I'll run through who we have tonight in a moment. Oh, I'm very excited because we have some new faces in SpeedForce Racing tonight, and I will run through my list now and see who we've got. So tonight we have, as normal with us, we're missing, where we go? We have Warren, DL Warren, who's meant to be with us. I don't know if he's with us tonight. We have Ash R27. He's meant to be with us tonight, but he has said that he is not going to be with us. And Fredo, who is I believe he's our first French driver in SpeedForce Racing. So well done, Fredo. Welcome here. And we have, here we go. Get ready to butcher names. Sigurad? I should call you Siguri. I do apologise if that is not your name. Siguri in the McLaren, and Wide Low Billy, I will just call you Billy, in the McLaren as well. So a fair few drivers coming into GP2 tonight, and it's going to be fantastic to see these guys all battle it out to have a good shot for pole position here in China. Obviously the tyres we'll bring are the ultra soft, super softs, and the softs. Obviously the wets and the intermediates with us as normal. Oh, my art skipped a beat there. I thought it was going to be wet. It's not though, so my art can go back to where it was. So, how are we all tonight? I hope you're doing well, because I am doing fantastically. Gonna sit here for the next couple of hours being nearly 4 hours, and stream Formula 1 on this channel. Obviously, if you don't know what I do, I am JB, and I sit here and I stream Formula 1 for your enjoyment. And I'm going to have a good time sitting here and just enjoying it as we see a Renault getting ready to leave. I believe it might be... Oh, yeah, there's a Mercedes. Is that Mercedes or is that... There is a Renault. I'm having a moment. Who's that? That's Badger. It's Podge. It's Podge. As we're watching the drivers now coming out on track, I am JB, and I stream both GP2 and Premier Division on the SpeedForce Racing channel. If you want to jump over and have a look at the Premier Division, that's on straight after this on the same channel. So just stay tuned for me to restart the stream after I've gone downstairs and had a quick drink after these guys have made me work for a living. So we're having a look at Racing Pods right now. I believe that is Fredo in the Haas right behind you. Let's have a look. It is not. There's another guy in between then. Let's go back to not Smiley. It's Podge. Who is the guy following him? I will attempt to find out in a bit. Hold on. No, engine glitch as per normal. Wouldn't be normal. So there was a patch. I believe it's a Sauber actually following. It might be Pedder or... I don't think T. Johnson is with us. Is it Pedder? Yeah, it is Pedder. Pedder is following. So I now know who is who. Okay, there we go. Ignore me while I try and work out how to use this game because I haven't used it since Saturday night. Hello, Honey Badger. How are you today, mate? It's a fantastic day to go racing here in SpeedForce Racing as we go along the long back straight here in China. Second longest straight in Formula 1, only being beaten out by that ridiculously long straight in Baku, which I do love so much. And we will be heading to next week. Oh, that will be so exciting to go to and to see how these gentlemen will be going at it. So let's watch Racing Podge take us through a lap around China. We will not be on board as there's an engine glitch and that drives me insane, so we're just going to watch it as we see a Red Bull. I believe that's Farfborough. Yeah, Farfborough just sitting there waiting for everyone else to get out of the way, which is a good move. Sorry, it's Blood and Sands. I do apologise. Just when seeing the cars coming around on their first laps and making sure he gets out of the way. Good job, Farfborough. You're doing a good job, mate. So, looking at the Renault, number 66 Renault sliding through the corners, definitely built for that straight. Look at that. It's a beautiful looking car as the back end slides just a tad out of that corner, heading towards the this oh so long left-hander, only being beaten out in length by the Russian long right-hander at turn 4. Yeah, I want to say turn 4. C. Jonas has joined us. Championship leader has joined us. He is not going to be able to qualify, though, down to the fact that... Oh, I tell you what, he's not going to be able to qualify. He might not even be in the same car as Farfborough's left for session, down to, I think, an instant collection. So, T. Jonas will still be scoring points for Sauber tonight, even though he may not be in the same car when he gets into the actual session. Which is unfortunate, but that's just down to the fact he turned up late and we had to go racing. So, look at this. DRS will be opening now on the Renault as he slides towards the end of this beautiful straight. Scary straight for dive bombs. Happens quite a bit down here. And you make sure that you get the car stopped just enough to clip that apex and go, ooh, almost as wide as that. Then there's also the final corner here. Difficult to negotiate if you get it wrong. Little slide there from the Renault. Get it ready to cross the line. That is a 132.4. What is Solheim going to do? A 130.7. And now it's just free reign to find out what's happening. And here comes Jade Rios. Jade Rios about to cross the line now and goes nowhere because it was invalidated, unfortunately for Jade. But Fredo goes second with a 131.7. And that is, I think, Zippo who's going to go fourth. Also, congratulations on Zippo getting a full-time drive in SpeedForce Racing after he had a trial run last week and decided that he wanted to actually race. S. Graham, though, has gone slightly further up. There's Siguri, I want to call you. I do apologise. Sigur. I'm going to call you Siguri, it sounds better. I'm very much into anime today, so I'm in the mood for that. Hello, Sir Lawrence. Sector 2 yellow flags as per normal. I believe that's just someone getting out of the way. Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. That's just probably someone getting out of the way. See the traction on the McLaren suspension moving around a lot as the number 6 McLaren comes to the end of this lap. He's got, I think that's Linnell just ahead of him. So he's got to make sure he doesn't get held up by Linnell. Don't think he will have, though. Here the wind-up. Whoa, big snap from the McLaren as he comes across the line. Siguri goes 5th ahead of both Toro Rossos and Gaming Things. So we're going to jump down to Dibouche. The mighty Bouche, who's running a nice new helmet for me to criticise and love as per normal. As Farfborough has rejoined the session and hopefully will be able to stick with us this time. Opening DRS on the Ferrari, crossing the line now, and he goes to start his lap. And you know what? No engine glitch, so we're going to go on a lap now. As Peter Solheim's left the session. So turn 1 and 2 is very, very difficult. It reminds me of Malaysia, but a lot longer. Look at that, staying well away from the apexes on the Ferrari as he comes around, heading towards Sector 2. His first split is going to be a 24 second, 24.2 second split. Pretty even mates through here, heading towards the fast left-hander. Get that right, and then swapping back into the right-hander. One day I'll get my left and rights right. And getting it into where it all went wrong for Valtteri Bottas a few years back when he span it under the safety car. Those double left-handers being crucial. Now to the corkscrew, as I call it, though it is not a corkscrew, this is more like a carousel. He comes, look at that, long corner, wanting to hit the apex late, but this time Daibu staying way off. It seems to have been a pretty messy lap from Dyer. Now this is where it all counts, saving all your ERS for this point. Want to turn it up to really high as he opens DRS and pushing down to the end of the DRS straight. Rear wing wide open as he breaks at the 100-meter board. Oh, he might have, yeah, he's overshot it just a little bit. Oh, the Ferrari seems to be struggling tonight as he heads towards the end of his lap. This has been a pretty messy lap. The fastest lap right now is a 1:30.7. He abandons it, thinks it's not enough. Here's the Renault of Smelly Badger though. Let's have a look at him. A few drivers on their out laps as we're heading towards the 11th minute of the session, as my little live stream on my tablet has just given up. That is entirely confident that now I can't see the chat or anything. Let's reload that. Reach down. Just turn some things off the internet that I don't need. There we go. Rebooting us as we're on board with Smelly Badger, about to complete his lap now. It's car number 71. The Renault seem to be sporting those soft tyres, doing well as T. Jonas has left the session. Seems this session seems to be very laggy and glitchy today. People are getting kicked from the session, unfortunately, which I'm hoping is not going to continue. So I've just been told to drive for both sessions as Smelly Badger goes 11th with his initial lap. Let's go on board with the last race winner of Yuzi, as I get a notification saying that someone's on live. Someone's online. Thank you for that, PlayStation. Don't need to see anymore. As Yuzi comes around the penultimate corner, now the final corner even, now sliding the rear tyres just a little bit and crossing the line to not do his lap, as that is unfortunately I think it was an invalidated lap as the Mercedes driver pushes his hardest to get higher up the grid. Daibush. So the drivers yet to set the time is Farfborough, Yuzi and Daibush. It seems the drivers seem to be struggling. I know Farfborough is because he got kicked out of it, so he might not be able to set a lap time. Here is Invader Zippo getting ready. I think he's on an in lap. Yeah, he's on a lap now. No, he's not. He's on a build-up lap. Okay, this will be interesting. He's in P9 right now. Let's see how the Honda engine in the back of the Toro Rosso performs as he's on these fresh tyres going around towards the almost corkscrew like turns 1 and 2, going very wide but snapping back into the apex now, heading into turn 2, riding the apex, wanting to stay as close to it as possible, almost heading for that double apex there. Now into the corner where Daniel Ricciardo made a daring dive bomb on, I think, Sebastian Vettel a few years back, as he misses the apex just a little bit. Not too difficult to do, but not entirely killing of your lap if you miss the apex. Coming around now towards the double left-hander, then the fast right-hander being way off track, setting himself a lot more up for the right-hander, but running a little bit too much on the curb as he heads now towards the double left-hander. 1, and then there's 2. Whoa, almost going too wide there. The Toro Rosso seems to be handling very well though, as he heads towards the carousel, hitting every apex possibly. As Hedda Solheim rejoins the session, current pole sitter right now with 8 minutes to go, hitting the apex a lot better than Daibush did. Now, here comes the real challenge. He's got 15 bits of ERS left. He's in absolute limit mode. He's absolutely pushing like mad, trying to head to see if he can go any higher up on the leaderboard, on the timings board. He's nailing every apex this lap. He's got minimal ERS left. He's got 8 left. He's got no risk of deracing as he comes now towards the end of his lap. Peter Solheim is left again, and he goes 3rd. Well done, a good lap there from Invader Zippo. So we're going to run through the order we have right now as we look at Suri go round. Sigri. Oh, I'm so bad at names, I do apologise. As usually retires from the session, he can't do enough. That might have been an accident actually. That may have been a crash, and I think I know where. So the drivers we have right now is Peter Solheim in first position, but he keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. That doesn't exactly bode well for this session, as Linnell has left the session as well. Oh no, this is just fired everything up now. Oh dear. Then it's Fredo in P2 and Zippo in P3. Racing Podge in P4. Billy in P5. Yuzi's teammate Graham in P6 and Yuzi himself in P7. Then the guy we're watching right now is Siguri in P8. And oh dear, that seems like a big crash there for Jade Rios. And then P9 is Blood and Sands. P10 is Gamey Things, and P11 is Smelly Badger. Then it's Jade Rios, who's just retired from the session. Lee Nell, who's just left the session. Farfborough, who is left the session but now can't get back into his car by the sound of it. And Daibush, who is on a lap right now. As Invader Zippo has left the session. What is happening? I believe, have we been told to abandon the session? Yeah, we have been told we are restarting the session. So, bear with us, everybody. Let me just open the mic and tell everyone. Ladies and gents, we've been told to restart the session as we have had an issue with the lobby. So please leave this session and get ready for invites in the next session. We do apologise for this incident. So I will keep you entertained as we get ready to rebuild our session. We're all restarting, which is unfortunate. So all the drivers will be re-invited to the session as we're going to sit here and wait and see everything. So I'm going to try and keep you entertained. Got any questions? And I'm going to sit here and get it. Apparently people have been complaining about messages, about people who were going, I need invites and all that, but that's just an issue with all of this. Just going to get in now to the new lobby. Then I'll be able to sit into spectate mode, and I think we're going to head on to I think we're going to head into what's it called? One shot qualifying for tonight. So that is going to be this is going to be interesting to see how the drivers will be. Unfortunately, this means it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to track who's where. So you know, sorry. So we do apologise as we are sat here waiting. We're just going to wait and see for everyone to get back in, and I'm going to keep you all as entertained as I possibly can, sitting here using my amazing voice. So, how are you all tonight? Please put in the chat if you're having a good day, bad day, mediocre day. Just drop me a message, ask me anything, ask me any questions. I'll do a little Q&A while we're waiting here for all the drivers to come back into this session for our one-shot qualifying, then half race distance, as this has been an interactive qualifying session. Yep, we have Jade and Peda cutting in already. So yeah, drop me any questions you want to ask, and it's going to be fun. But yes, tonight has been a interesting night. It seems that many of the drivers were complaining about some issues. But yes, what's this? Oh, that's a big question for the guy that uses most assists. Okay, well, the best tip you could do for any racing night is get a mate who uses it and follow him around. That's what I say. So go around. Am I in the game chat right now? Sorry, I've just been made aware that I'm in a game chat when I don't think I am. Sorry, I do apologise. The best thing to do, mate, is to have your mate go around in front of you, or have someone go around in front of you. You can learn what's the best things to do in that corner. So that's move around, you know. So we're going to be, what's it called? Yeah, best thing to do, as my brain completely resets, is to sit here and follow him and learn the new things. I believe that's the thing. I used to use Racing Line when I raced. I used to use automatic gearbox because I can't drive a manual gearbox in real life. Shh, don't tell anyone. They think I'm cool. I'm not. Yeah, it's a tough one, and it's like it's more trial and error with that one. But yeah. Any other questions as we wait here for everyone to get restarted? Any questions? Any questions will do. as I try and keep everything okay. I believe we've been told that if anything happens again, this is the last time we're doing it tonight, which would mean that Premier will be moved forwards, I believe, to most of the drivers, or there will be a gap between the Premier drivers and us going racing. But hey ho, I'm just told to sit here and talk as I always do, sounding as pretty and as beautiful as I can attempt to be every night and every day. I totally didn't make my voice a lot deeper there. But still, it should be interesting to see how these GP2 drivers go racing. We shall see if we got all the drivers in. We have both Mercedes, one Ferrari, one Red Bull. It seems Farfborough hasn't joined us as of yet or selected his car. Both Toro Rossos, no Williams drivers. Both Renault drivers. I need to close the phone, close the chat on my phone. Do apologise. Both Toro Rosso drivers. Neither Haas driver has reported in yet. So that is Fredo, who was racing earlier, hasn't turned up yet. One McLaren driver hasn't turned up yet. I think that's Siggy. I do apologise for if I'm butchering names as normal. Yeah, one is here. He hasn't selected his car yet. Make sure you select your cars, gents. Please do it. Some people may be having to restart their game and having issues. Only 14 drivers here tonight. What is this? Yes, you will start on the tyres you qualify on one-shot qualifying, weather permitting, and I think we have agreed on it being a clean, free race. I'm not too sure. Let's just see. Yeah, neither Haas driver, so Fredo has not returned to us yet. Not sure why he is. I tell you what, I've got a good, interesting little tryst for everyone here who's watching the stream. I'm gonna bring someone in for us. Where is he? Let me just get it. Let me just get this. You're gonna love this. Yeah, a little present for everyone. Where is it? Where did he DM me? Alright, I do apologise if we try and get everything sorted. Where is all of this? I do apologise with me trying to work everything out. Hey. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome on, once he joins us, a co-commentator who is a good friend of mine. And he's a good lad. Waiting for a join. I'm sat here, genuinely waiting. Oh, dearie. Come on. You see, I'm waiting to do this grand entrance right now. Yeah, he's not turned up yet. Come on. Where is he? Let's hope that he's going to be in here. I think he might be attempting to join to do anything first. He might be just waiting. But hey ho, I will check everything else out for him. Do apologise. Everything else. This has gone a bit silly as we're trying to get everything sorted. For now, as we head over to one short qualifying here in SpeedForce Racing, PS4. Normally this should be okay. Let's just see. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce you to AJ, my good friend. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, JV. How you doing?
It's all right. Now, let me just make sure that you sound all right. So just talk for me for a bit on the chat.
Yeah, sure. Well, got back from work, just had some food, and I'm ready to co-commentate for the first time. It's been ages that I've wanted to co-commentate with someone. I've just never had the right time to do it with someone. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This should be fun.
Oh, you sound all right now as we get ready to go round. So, little bit gardening for you, mate. What's happened is we had a little issue in our first qualifying session where I think people were dropping out and couldn't get back in. So we've decided to restart and go for a one-shot qualifying session. So it should be interesting to see what happens now, because I've got to just find one driver to sit on, and right now we're going to sit on board with Invader Zippo and just watch everything go mental as I try and keep up with who's in P1 right now. So, you know what, as qualifying goes on, we'll just watch one driver's line. Are you in the lobby, my friend?
I am in the lobby, yeah.
Sterling. So, we are all ready to see how these drivers react. So, AJ, you are a driver who is a champion in another league I commentate on repeatedly. You know how to drive these cars. China is a track that you've enjoyed quite a bit. How would you approach this race now that you've had a bit of an issue with qualifying?
Yeah, definitely. I think just kind of settle back into it, just not getting too flustered, just showing a bit of resilience to be able to come back. But Peter Solheim definitely with a good line through some of these corners. He's definitely on it.
Yeah, Solheim was sitting on provisional pole position with 8 minutes left to go. Whoa, a little clip of the grass there, though. Still, he seemed to be a good guy as we're sat on board with him now. See a little 360 camera poking up at the end of the Sauber, the number 4 Sauber, going to the end of his lap now. Little cough there from the man who works for Bentley. Come on, you could have known I would have pulled that out on stream. running very rider right now. Yeah, Peter Solheim on pole position as everyone else comes across. Pretty interesting few qualifying sessions for everyone else. So there he is. Peter Solheim takes his first pole position of the season, and he is happy with that, I think.
Yeah, 8 tenths is a brilliant margin to be able to put it on pole. Gives you a lot of confidence going straight into T1 on the race.
Definitely will be an interesting little set. And there it is. As confirmation, we have Peter Solheim in P1 and Gaming Things in P2. Gaming Things, you got pole position last time out. It seemed to struggle around here. But still, P2 is a good start. Racing Podge in P3 and T. Jonas in P4. Then it's Zippo in P5. Seguri, as I call him, in P6. Graham in P7. And Billy in P8. Jade in P9. And Smelly Badger in P10. We'll run through the rest of the drivers as we head onto track. Ooh, so, fastest qualifying session of your life. And Farf was already left. Oh dear. This game. You know what, they did a patch, and I haven't seen any of the patch notes. Did you by any chance had a little note of it?
Not for 1.10. I haven't had a look, but I think they got released like today or yesterday. Like, yeah, they've had a new patch like every single day this week, pretty much.
It's not filling us with confidence, is it? To be honest. This game, it is brilliant to look at, it's brilliant to commentate on, but there's some bits where drivers just can't stay in the game.
Definitely.
Which is a bit of a pain, and I don't think I've had this many drivers and this many lobby issues since the game came out, you know?
Yeah, I think I haven't noticed any of the revving where you're kind of at the top of the rev limiter in every gear that when you look at the spectator mode.
Yeah, so, that's rather annoying. Now, let me just apologise to AJ quickly. I do apologise, mate, if I get loud, because you know me, I'm going to get loud. So, formation lap underway as Peter Solheim leads us away. Look at that McLaren in the background go for a nice slide off the grid. Oh, this is fantastic. McLaren obviously being the car you won the championship last year in, wasn't it? Oops.
Yeah, it was. Good memory.
Yeah, definitely a good memory. So let's just run through the tyres that everyone's gone on to. So Solheim is on the Ultrasofts. Everyone in the top 10 on Ultrasofts. Outside of the top 10, no. Farfbra, Linel, Dibouche, Yuzi, Farfbra, Dibouche, Blood and Sands and Fredo are on Fredo driving in the Williams tonight, but he's actually in the Haas, so all the points will be transferred to Haas. Are on the soft tyres versus, as I hit my tattoo, ow, and Yuzi in P14. He's actually on the medium tyres, so he'll be going the longest. He's pulling the Max Verstappen strategy. So, look at these cars. They're all streaming round towards the big long straight.
Sorry, David, just to update you about the patch notes. There's not a huge amount to do with any of the multiplayer stuff or any of the the main stuff. It's kind of like reversing when you're going forwards and things like that. It's just kind of little bits and pieces that they've done for this patch.
Well, that fills us with a lot of confidence here, but still, one-shot qualifying here in China, that is done. Now we get ready for the race. Solheim leading us away from Gaming Things. Gaming Things, who I will say was a little bit robbed at turn 1 after contact with T. Jonas last race, which caused him to lose his P1 ship. So let's see if he's going to get it back. Last time he had contact with a Salba at the start of the race. This time he's going to try and get ahead of the Salba at the start of the race. It'll be very interesting with the championship leader only starting down in P4, just behind Racing Podge. And tell you what, Podge is not going to be hard to pass.
Yeah, Zippo up in P5. That's a good showing from him as well.
Definitely is. Zippo, who unfortunately is going to be up a little bit early, as his little kids are going to be wanting to get up early. Oh dear, it's only Thursday, kids. Calm down. So here we go, the 5 red lights, as I'm already insulting drivers. I shouldn't be allowed in commentary, but here we go. Engine notes rise as we get ready to go live here in China. Lights are out and the drivers are away now. And it seems like a pretty even start. Look at the Mercedes in the middle. But here comes the Renault, but oh, big contact with the Force India in the background. Who was that? That was Jay Rios, pumped by, I think, Fafra. I don't know what happened there. If you could give us a little bit of insight, AJ. Oh, God.
Yeah. No, I don't have any idea. I just saw, looking at the front of the grid, and right at the back, there seems to be carbon fibre flying everywhere.
You see T. Jonas now trying to pass, and there's a Mercedes going deep. Who is that? No, it's a Renault, sorry, going deep. That's Racing Podge. Centre 1 and 2, yellow flags.
Just lost it at the first few corners, just after turn 3.
Look at Zippo, he's down in 14th now too as well. Lots of contact at the start of this Grand Prix, and I don't know what happened there at all. But still, this has been a beautiful start there for Peter Solheim. Look at him, already nearly a second ahead of Gaming Things as everyone gets ready to line up to try and go along past each other along the start-finish straight, around the back straight. Here we see Billy, who's in P3.
Dive bomb from Invader Zippo, straight up past Blood and Sun.
Good, so there's a Renault getting out of shape there as he's trying to defend from Dibouche. We're going to drop down and go on board with Dibouche now as he's trying to close up on Racing Podge. Closing up, closing. The Ferrari driver pulling to the inside. Is he going to make it 3 wide? He is going to make it 3 wide. And he dives it down into the 1 Renault. Is he going to try and brave another one? 2? No, he's not. He decides that 1 is enough in that corner. And almost losing the back end as every driver now attempts to get through. And what an absolute bender of a start for Solheim, who's trying to stay away from Gaming, who's trying to defend from Billy. Billy trying to have a look and a good turnout on his first race, but he seems to be having a good time in P3, but he's not going to give it up. He wants to go early. Jade is in early for a stop. We saw that coming after that big contact on the side. It'd be interesting to see what happened from her point of view, and I want to know what happened in general as Gaming Things try to defend from the McLaren, and he's doing a fantastic job already. 1.1 seconds ahead is Peter Solheim. Take us through, AJ. What are you looking at?
Yeah, Dibouche got a brilliant double toe down that long straight just to get up beside the Renaults. Unfortunate not to get past both of them, but he managed to split them quite well. Now he's in the middle of a Renault sandwich.
It definitely is. Red in the middle of 2 yellows. It's very interesting to say the least. But the closest battle on track right now is actually Fredo, who's in the wrong car against Yuzi in P10. But we're going to keep an eye out and actually stay on board with Billy, who's got the championship leader T. Jonas following him now in P4. This will be interesting to see if T. Jonas is going to be give him any slack as his new driver. Podge has lost it.
Racing Podge. He's just gone off. Just clipped the back wheels on going around that last kind of snail bend that I call it before going on to the main straight. He just kind of just lost the back wheels in the grass a little bit and gone round, and that's it all the way back to 13.
That is unfortunate for him, but right now we're seeing a challenge for P3. Being shunted off wide is Billy by T. Jonas. T. Jonas letting him back through, knowing that move was a bit iffy. But here we go into P2 now. Oh, that's very confusing. Who's ahead now? It's T. Jonas, but there was a big battle that we didn't see on track. We didn't speak about on commentary right now as we see Zippo getting into P10, fighting with the other McLaren. Is he going to go for a switchback? He is going to go for a switchback. The Honda driver, the McLaren Honda. Oh, what am I talking about? The Toro Rosso also Honda driver doing wonders with that engine versus the McLaren, who could not. Who are we right now? Sector 1, yellow flags. I'm not sure who that is. That's further back, I think. Yeah, it's Racing Podge again. I think Podge just cooked his tyres, you know.
It's very possible, yeah. Losing it all the way out there, especially if you go on the grass. And S. Graham's just done a similar thing, just coming out.
Whoa! Someone's off.
And yeah, he's just he clipped Fredo as well while he was making his way back on, and he's lost quite a few positions now, all the way back to 12th.
Very, very messy start here in SpeedForce Racing. We don't normally have this much messy starts, but
and Sigurd's gone as well. Sigurd's lost it.
Oh, that's a big crash for the debutante. Oh, those tyres are absolutely cooked on that McLaren. Be careful! Sector 2 yellow flags, I think that's just for the McLaren driver. Here comes Yuzi trying to defend from Fredo. Fredo opening DRS, pulls to the outside. Yuzi on these hardest compound tyres, knowing that he's going to have a struggle trying to catch up with everything. But I tell you what, this... Well, how was there no... Sorry, what was that, sir?
Racing Pod was losing it again through Sector 2 there.
Yeah,
I think his tyres have just gone.
Smelly Badger! Smelly Badger in the gravel too at the end of the lap. Oh, what is happening this race? Lots of contact, lots of spinning, and I don't know who's to blame. So right now, Solheim and Billy are in the pit lane, and I need a break.
Honestly, I don't think it's any of their fault. I think China's, I mean, I said it for Spain definitely, but China's another one where you get a lot of corners where you're going in slow and then you're coming out hot on the accelerator, but are kind of, and still turning the corner at the same time, and they're just cooking their tyres when they're scraping friction along the side of the tyre wall, and so it heats the tyres immediately. You go from 90 degrees all the way past 100, and as soon as you go past 106, I think it is, the tyres just completely die on you, and you're left with no grip whatsoever.
See, this is the advantage of having a co-commentator. He gets to say all the big words, and I'm just going to say, it's a car and it's going very fast. But here we go. Tyre boost pulling around the inside. An absolutely worldly move onto Jonas in the carousel. Still side by side. Racing Pod just stop go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. DRS open on the Ferrari. This should be no slaps, but the Sauber's still coming back at him without DRS. Look at that. But he slits up the inside. Racing Pod has decided enough's enough tonight. I've had enough. I'm retiring. And he's done it in the correct way in the pit lane. Unfortunate for Racing Pod. He had such potential tonight, but it's all gone wrong, as Yuzi and Zippo are starting to have a fight as well behind.
Yeah, it's always sorry to see a driver lose commitment and go out. I always like to, even if I'm doing terrible, I always want to go to the end of the race. I just want to keep racing, but yeah, sometimes that happens like that, and sometimes you just kind of lose all confidence in the car and in yourself, which is just unfortunate. But I hope it comes back stronger next race. Definitely.
Yeah, it definitely will next race. Obviously being Baku in a week's time, but right now T. Jonas is having to defend from. He's on Hotshot tyres. He's having to defend from Fredo. Whoa! Big question marks of where Fredo was going. He's gone for a very Danny Rick style dive bomb. Oh, is that? Would you give that position back if you were Fredo, mate?
No, I think that was all right. I think that was racing room, definitely. But I think if he'd pushed him out more, then it would have been unfair. But I think.
Oh, T. Jonas has lost it though. T. Jonas has lost it, and he's in the barrier. Oh no! And I think that's damage on the Sauber, and that is the ultra soft tyres just giving up after 4 laps of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think he might have just tapped it very softly, and he's just lost a little bit of front wing off there. But look at the way he's going sideways here. His back tyres have just had it.
This game is so sensitive right now. So we're going to go have a look at S. Graham trying to fight on Smelly Badger. These two have been fighting quite a bit in their SpeedForce racing careers. The Mercedes tries to get past the Renault. That is the weirdest way to say Renault in my life, but I'm still going to stick with it.
Lost it.
Oh no.
I think going onto the main straight there, yeah, it's a very easy place to lose the car. Just coming out of those final corners, especially when your tyres are hot from going through all the different darting corners.
Whoa! Sorry to interrupt you, mate. What happened there is that S. Graham missed his braking point and almost took out the back end of the Renault. Oof, made me jump. But yes, Gamey Things in the pit lane for his first racing pit stop. He is de facto leader right now as he is the first pit stop. He's coming on the medium tyres. Seems the ultra soft tyres are not the way to go around this circuit today.
Yeah, I think Peder Solheim stopped a little bit earlier. He's on the soft tyres already. He must have been feeling those super soft pretty badly.
Yeah, but right now we've got our eyes on S. Graham as he tries to get past Smelly Badger. Little kick from the back end of the Renault DRS open on the Mercedes, but Smelly Badger just having one of those setups that allows him to absolutely fly in every corner possible. T. Jonas in the pit lane, I think that's for a new nose on his Sauber as well. Let's have a nose at it. Actually, it might not have been. It's pretty cute.
Going out around the outside of T. Jonas there, just not making it stick. Is she going to have another go? Going to have a look.
So, lap 6 here out of 28. But right now, we're going to have AJ take us through a move right here. Go on, AJ.
Oh, is she going to go down the inside? Yeah, she is. She just lost her braking point just a little bit. Just went too deep there and just unlucky. Wanted to do a Donny Rick dive bomb, but just took the braking point a bit far. You need your brake pressure on maximum. You need complete confidence in your braking ability to be able to do a move like that. But you can try again next lap.
Definitely, especially in that corner. Obviously, T. Jonas has only just come out the pit lane. His tyres are going to be warm, yes. But Jade has been on these for a few laps. She's only been on them for, where are we? Trying to find her on here. On 4 laps versus none. She still has a lot of life in those soft tyres, sorry. But right now, up at the top is Fredo. The Haas driver who decided to wear Williams gear tonight is looking at the Ferrari. Daibush is doing a fantastic job as Solheim gets the fastest lap of the race at 1:35.9.
Everybody starting at the back of the grid is all the way at the front.
Yeah,
they're making 14 places this race.
Yeah, it is very interesting to see strategy taking its full effect. To see that Williams, sponsored by SMP Racing. Thank you, Sergei Sorokin, for giving it another thing to cover on that car. And it seems that the Williams is doing fantastically well today. We don't see it run much in SFR, just down to the fact that we do not have any drivers to go into the Williams team. So if you think you're fast enough, come and have a look at us on Facebook. As I try and plug us, just a little plug. Whoa! Big slide though from Fredo as he does a great job of catching the car. But these guys are close. But even closer right now is the Sauber of Petter Solheim, who was our pole sitter, starting to catch up to Lee Nell. And this is interesting. Lee hasn't stopped yet.
I think definitely the guys on the medium tyres are ones to watch because the fact that they won't heat up as quickly. They can you can take a bit more out of them in the corners, and they're not going to thank you for it. But they'll last a bit better than the soft or the super soft.
Here we go, move now for the Sauber driver as he pulls to the inside of Vittorio Rosso. Pretty simple move. But Lee, double lock up. He's thinking, no, you can try and defend from this. No, that's enough, though. He can't get past him. Might have been a little tyre-on-tyre contact, but Daibush pulls, and Daibush has lost the position to Fredo now. No, they're going at it. Fredo's gone very deep at turn 1, but allowed Daibush back through. Maybe it was a Danny Rick dive bomb gone wrong.
Going for another DRS move on Petter Solheim, around the outside this time. Let's see if he can make it stick. He's going all the way. He's going all the way around. I think he's got it, Oh, Petter Solheim coming back. This is brilliant to watch. Very close racing.
Definitely is. You see the two of them. Oh, big boost of power from the Sauber. That's just divided that Ferrari engine in the back there. But no, the Honda engine going, no, my turn. This is my corner. And these two giving each other a good hard race. But Lee eventually having to give up the position just down to the fact his tyres are older. Solheim is cooking his, trying to fight him.
Yeah, you can see how much newer tyres can help you. Three laps younger, and he's just able to take those corners just a little bit better than me now, just a bit tighter. All
right, well, moving away from that, there's a Ferrari and a Williams, two historic teams going for battling. Daibush pulling to the inside. He's squeezing him towards the outside now, but Daibush is on the inside line. Who's got the better lane? Oh, big contact as Fredo moves in the braking zone to allow Daibush to hit him and break his wing on him. I tell you what, I'm going to say that was entirely Fredo's fault. Yeah, he's brake checking him now. Look at that.
Yeah.
That was entirely Fredo's fault. I'm looking at it again on my little replay camera I have. Going to back it up. Okay. If you could just take us through what's happening on track, will I look at it and judge again?
We've got Smelly Badger down in 10th. He's got DRS now on S. Graham, but will he get close enough? That's the only thing. He's gaining so quickly. No, he's not going to be close enough to have a look this lap. Oh, the S Graham runs a bit wide. He's right on the back of him now, coming into the second DRS zone across the main straight. Will he get a good run off this corner and see if he can catch him on this straight? DRS open again, trying to get in his slipstream as much as possible. Will he try late braking? He's just not close enough at the minute. You can hang on to him, maybe he'll get him next lap.
Yeah, meanwhile, in all of this, I've looked back at it, and I do think that Fredo did move in the braking zone to allow, to try and block off Daibush too much, which was, in my opinion, against our rules. Jade Rios has pulled into the pit lane again for a new set of tyres. I think that's just down to her soft tyres not playing very well on that Force India. See the shot that's hit me, and you see, who's that? That's T. Jonas there, championship leader, who's currently have a very poor race. This is very interesting to see. China seems to just be cooking those tyres, and I don't think any of the drivers are ready for it.
Look at Yuzi. That's definitely interesting because the fact that he was about 3-4 seconds behind Dai and Fredo now, and he's now close right up to Dai on those medium tyres. 8 laps in, and the soft tyres are starting to wear a little bit, but those medium tyres are still good for quite a bit longer. Let's see if we can have a good move on Daibush at some point soon.
Definitely is under a second between them, but really under a second right now is Renault versus Mercedes. DRS open on the Renault, gaining. Graham going defensive early. But is Smelly Badger going to have a look? He does have a little look, but he decides not to yet. Graham still going defensively deep, but all of this is helping T. Jonas in the background, who is pulling so much closer to them.
I love that, dicing back and forth just on the back straight there, going one way and then the other. S. Graham didn't know which way to look.
Look how tight he's gone! Look at that!
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, and S. Graham going back up the inside of him. Smelly Badger just running a little bit wide there.
You caught me out there. You caught me out quite a bit. His UC passes for P2, and even then, he's going back at it again.
Wow, side by side, going back through the next few corners.
Graham moving a bit in the braking zone there, a little bit naughty, but this is brilliant racing.
Perfect defending from S. Graham there. Couldn't have taken this braking light any better.
Look at that, this track seems to be producing as good racing as we'd hope. Now, look at Badger, he's having to defend and attack, and right now he can't, because T. Jonas has got the best run in the world against him, but he's had to lift off there as the Renault got a bit out of shape and knocking around, and Segura down in 13th position is struggling, but he's closed it in on Invader Zippo, who seems to be struggling. I want to know where Farfra is though.
Usually past Daibush. Daibush has peeled off into the pits now.
Yeah, and the big question is now, who's going to get there first? Is it going to be the Renault, or is it going to be Sauber to get past the Mercedes? By the looks of it, it's going to be Sauber, who's even quicker with double DRS toe. Falls to the inside, dives down. Is it 2-in-1? It's going to be 2-in-1 for the Sauber. Oh, he gets turned into by Graham, who then gets knocked off, and that is going to be interesting to the stewards. It seemed that Graham just turned into him like nothing was there. Reminiscent of, I think, a bit like Sebastian Vettel and Jenson Button in Spa back in 2010.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Whoa, coming right across Linel's nose right there. Did you hear my brain genuinely just give up there?
There's so many people in the same part of the track. There's like 5 people within 2 seconds of each other.
Right, we're on board. We've got Blood and Sands now as a good shout to see what's happening to car number 15. It's a man who's normalities right there, and usually he's chasing a second win of the season, and he's on the right path right now. Look at that. Whew. I had to take a genuine breather there because I couldn't work out what was happening.
Yeah, there's so much action in this race, definitely. It's a brilliant one to watch.
So, who have we got going to come and attack now? I believe it's going to be T. Jonas on Blood and Sands, who is trying to stay ahead, I think, of Daibush. Daibush obviously having a slow pit stop because he had to go and get that front nose change. No, that's S. Graham getting past getting past Smelly Badger on the carousel again. These two are going to be battling for the next century and a half. Daibush pulls to the inside early, and Blood and Sands goes down the inside. Still there though. Daibush on the medium tyres, trusting those tyres. Oh, clipping the rear end just a little bit, moving back. Is there any move here? It seems no move further down, as I'm literally trying to work out. Oh no, Lee Nell's in the wall. But there is a McLaren and a Toro Rosso having a fight back down there.
Coming back after Daibush covers the inside line. Has Blunsan gone a little bit too deep? No, he saves it on the AstroTurf. Daibush pushing him wide, just making sure that he stays up there. I don't know how fair that is.
Whoa!
Blunsan giving him a bit tit for tat there.
I think that was all sorted on track, you know.
So aggressive.
Then there's T. Jonas! T. Jonas on the inside! Is that two cars into one? Oh, wing off on the Red Bull! And T. Jonas, knowing that he's done wrong, lets them through, but that's done the damage to the Red Bull.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there, unlucky for Blood and Sand. He just got caught in the middle of too much action.
See, everyone is trying their hardest. Racing like the championships on the line. It's race 3. Daibush has gone very wide now. And you see Blood and Sand's going much tighter now. Oh, God. I'm so happy I got a co-commentator with me tonight so I can actually take some breaths. Whoa! What happened there?
Oh, and T. Jonas losing a bit of front wing. He's getting a bit of carbon fibre in the mix. I don't think any of them have full front wings anymore.
Tell you what, the Marshals are going to be doing a good job tonight as Fredo pulls into pit lane and makes Yuzi the race winner on lap 13. Race winner, race leader here as Peter Solheim goes back into second position. Here they come for round 497. It's Smelly Badger on S. Graham. He dives around the outside. He's baited Graham. Oh, contact, big contact. That's almost spent him into a big spin. Oof. And there's Blood and Sands for T. Jonas, sorry, in for a pit lane, in for his new wing being set on that Sauber. Oh, it's almost like Austria for McLaren. They need new rings everywhere.
Yeah, I think maybe for T. Jonas some medium tyres and a new front wing take him to the end of the race. That will be an interesting strategy to go between them and the rest of them.
Let's look at a man who was. Let's look at a man who was started in P2 gaming things. He's got his eyes on Fredo, trying to get past the frog. I see. Now that's mean. Sorry, I do apologise because Fredo's actually French, and I can't say that. So I do apologise to Fredo, and I'll apologise to him again for calling him that on stream. Let's go opening up for more controversy. I'm a really nice guy, but today I seem to be a bit of a fool. So the Fredo chocolate bar in the Williams, normally in the Haas, has got to defend from the Force India. But it'd be interesting because Fredo's only just pitted. DRS open on the Force India, 7 laps old tyres. It should be very interesting to see how defence goes. Fredo gonna go on.
It's so amazing how quick he caught him under ERS. Just a bit of late braking though. Gamey thinks is going to go back up, but I think Fredo's got it back underneath. Is he going to have another go down the main straight? I think he just lost a bit of momentum through that last corner. He's not going to be close enough to have another go at it, unfortunately. He might get closer, but no, he's just too far off. He'll have another go down the back straight in the next lap.
In that Racing Point Force India, that name screams it's going to be red next year, and it probably will be. But right now, Blood and Sands is the one trying to gain up on Daibush again. These two, no strangers to battling each other recently, and it seems that they are both struggling right here. But more importantly, S. Graham and Smelly Badger. Well, I'll tell you what, these two names will be in the headlines in a minute because they'll have killed each other.
Just following each other through the corners. They're being quite gentle on the throttle through there, just to keep their tyres not screaming on their tyres too much coming out the corner. But yeah, just keeping everything in check for going out for another run in a couple of corners time.
These two seem to be immense battlers, and for as long as I've been in SpeedForce racing, these two have been battling, and it's fantastic to see. Obviously, if you want to stick with us and watch the Premier Division, that will be coming up straight after this race. Obviously, we had a delayed start of this race, so it means that I might have a little bit less time to run downstairs and get a drink. It'd be interesting to see if AJ, if you have any time, if you want to come and have a look at the Premier drivers.
I could do. I'll see what I'm doing. I've got stuff to do.
Got stuff to do, like writing out your homework for Bentley. As Yuzi pulls into the pit lane after 14 laps on those tyres. We're going to give everyone a quick rundown on who is where in a moment, as soon as we've seen if Smelly Badger can have a try at getting past Yuzi, getting past S. Graham. Again, he's having a look. Is he going to try Danny Rick dive bomb? He's had a look, but he's decided that's enough. He's just sitting there to try and unsettle the Mercedes, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a good strategy. It's something that David tries as well when we race an SNR. But yeah, just keeping in your mirrors, you know that someone's there because you keep seeing the red bars coming up behind them, especially when they get closer and closer and closer. And you're always kind of in your peripheral vision. You just know they're there and just have to keep them behind you. You just need to keep consistent, keep your head down, and keep going. Otherwise, they will force you into a mistake. Otherwise.
Well, if you want to have a look at what Orchard David's up to, he's turning up here tonight. Hopefully, I haven't spoken to him for a while, but he's turning up here tonight for the Premier Division around here in China. And Zess Graham's gone very deep. He's gone for a 2 defensive move. Seems he's gained just a little bit of an advantage going off track there. But Lee now is now the fastest man on track with a 1:35.7 on his belt as we're listening to these horrific Renault engines starting to scream in pain, going, "No, I don't want to race. Get me out of here."
Yeah, Smelly Badger's doing an excellent job just tagging onto the back of S. Graham. He just can't get away from him at the minute. Just backing out of that move there, but just keeping him in his vision, just making sure that he's not getting away anywhere. Not the best run out of that exit.
Oh yeah, a little bit of struggle through the carousel there, wasn't it? The Renault car, very distinctive in yellow and black, though I would like to see them in yellow and white next year, just for a change, as I forget that I have a tattoo that's still healing on my arm. Ow!
S. Graham running very wide there. Is that going to give Smelly Badger a good help in up the inside? Yeah, he manages to do it. Smelly Badger's in front, and they both dive off into the pit lane.
Oh no!
Oh, both running wide as well.
I just got flashbacks to Pastor Maldonado and Lewis Hamilton right there, just almost going to the pit lane. Or should be interesting to see who's quicker. I'm on board with S. Graham's getting service now, pulling every tyre off the car, letting him drop now. Has he got the jump on the Renault? He might just have. I think he has. He has.
Yeah,
he's jumped him in the pit lane.
Smelly Badger just sitting there for ages, just waiting for his mechanics to let him go, but he just wouldn't let him.
Oh no, he's thinking, I just got past him, come on! The Renault McLarens? Yeah, the Renault mechanics seem to having a little bit of fumble there as Chi Jonas in P9. So let's give everyone a rundown of where everyone is right now. Right now, oh, there's a big slide from Smelly Badger. I'm going to have a look at everyone right now. Here's Peter Solheim in P1, who's 6 seconds ahead of Fredo in P2. Then it's Gamey Things, who's dropped back a bit from Fredo. Then it's Yuzi in P4, and it's Daibush in P5. Then it's Billy in P6. Braden Sands in P7, who is following very close to the McLaren head. Then it's Zippo in P8, T. Jonas in P9, and S. Graham in P10. But maybe not for long, because here comes Smelly Badger in P11. Then it's Lee Nell in P12.
So I'm going down the inside of wide load Billy, and he's made it stick. Is Billy going to come back at him? He's looking at it now, but Blood and Sand is in front at the minute. Oh! Billy goes into the pit lane and almost takes Blood and Sand out with him.
That would have been controversial if that happened. But I tell you what. Oh, hold on. Oh dear, looks like we have a pit lane glitch. If we look now on Billy's camera, I know we're not looking at any action on track, but Billy is going to... Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
now, we don't know we don't know what the drivers will be seeing. So the drivers could be out on track right now, but we don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah. Let's hope that's not actually what he sees.
No, because I'd be going nuts if I were him. But look at that, T. Jonas is under pressure from S. Graham, who's attempting to pass him early on. Getting very close. But T. Jonas on those medium tyres are going to be struggling versus these soft tyres.
Yeah, got a good run out of that corner. Is he going to try looking at the inside? Yeah, he is. That's a dive bomb and a half, and he's just gone a bit wide again. See Jonas coming back at him. S. Graham have to live with 9th at the minute.
Not for long though.
A little bit wide, but Graham just backing off completely.
That Mercedes seems to be very uncomfortable right now as he's trying to attack and defend. And I think there might be a little bit of brake checking going on. I'm not too sure. I haven't raced this track in a fair while. But look at this. I tell you what, Badger's in the best position in the world, especially now he is. Look at that. Oh, God, he could get 2. He these two. Very IndyCar-like strategies as they still going side by side. But S. Graham is ahead. Badger is in the best position. He's going to have double DRS toe. T. Jonas is not going to give up that position. Not from a mistake he made. He darts to the inside. Darts to the outside. He is on the inside now as he breaks now. Oh, Graham, you can't turn in on him yet. And look at that, an inspired move. And there's Badger. Oh, Badger being absolutely slapped by the Sauber saying, no, back. But here we go. Is this going to be the final round between these two? Or are they going to continue once more? Be careful. Remember, there's a car ahead. Oh, it seems being on the outside in that corner is not where you want to be. Oh, contact. Rear-ending each other. These guys go absolutely insane tonight.
Everybody behaving themselves. Who's got a hairpin?
I think there has been a lot of anger right now from the earlier start of this race, and I'm seeing some very angry messages, and I'm going to attempt to get to the bottom of all of this while we're on stream. This seems as gamey things brought into pit lane.
About half a second between everybody as Peter Sorheim sets the fastest off the race, 1:35.4, I think that was. But now, DRS coming to the line, everybody got it wide open, apart from T. Jonas. He's a sitting duck on the straight. Is Smelly Badger going to get a double toe? It doesn't seem to be enough, but he's still going for it. Oh, he's clipped the back end of S. Graham, but they've just all got round safely.
This race seems to be struggling on everyone's mind. Seems to be a race where everyone's pushing as hard as they can. Has Billy. Billy is on track right now, and the other McLaren is not. So that is a pit lane glitch as we had in the first round of another league I commentate on. So now we don't know where Stig will be. He could be anywhere right now, so we'll just have to sit and wait for it. To watch these drivers attempt to battle.
Jamie thing's starting to close into blood and sand now. He's just changed onto a new set of soft tyres. 8 laps fresher tyres than blood and sand. He's going to be able to catch them quite quickly, as he is doing.
Tell you what, you might be able to get past Diabouche as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at the amount of traction he had on there.
Very, very close to blood and sand, even before the DRS zone. He's not even going to need the slipstream. DRS wide open, straight down the inside of there, and Blood and Sand just has nothing to say about that. He just has no answer to it whatsoever.
Be interested to see now. We see round 407 between the Sauber, the Mercedes, and the Renault. Seems now this time it's going to be the Mercedes and Sauber show ahead as Smelly Badger has dropped back just a little bit. His tyre starting to cook. So S. Graham looking at a dive bomb, big Danny Rick dive bomb, and he's done it! But T. Jonas is saying, no, not enough. True again, and it's still on it. It's still side by side as S. Graham filters his way through, he feeds them in, and look at that, inspired move from S. Graham. And here comes...
Now taking off, taking the momentum off S. Graham and T. Jonas, and trying to go around the outside once again. T. Jonas just covering him off, and now he's going out the inside of S. Graham.
Oh no!
Smelly Badger losing a bit of front wing there as well, just a good measure. And now T. Jonas back in front. They're still back in the same order as they were before.
These guys are pushing as hard as they can, and unfortunately they are pushing a little bit too far. I think these drivers are all going to have to be reminded that this is a non-contact sport, and we should not be doing it, even though this is not a sport, we're on a game, but it's still non-contact. We do not crash into each other on purpose, and right now it seems that we are all forgetting that rule just a little bit.
Gamey thing's doing really well on his soft tyres, closing up the Diabouche very quickly. He's going to be within DRS on the next lap, I believe.
I think at the start-finish straight he will be first.
Yeah, the start-finish straight, you're absolutely right.
Going to stay on board with him, giving us a taste of pink before we head back to yellow, silver and red. Within DRS, but Boosh seems to just be very quick on that set of tyres right now.
Yeah, you've just got to get a good amount of momentum, especially through either of the corners going onto the long straights. You've just got to get a perfect line through that corner. You want perfect momentum going down that straight, and even if you're 7/10 behind, just using all of the RS, all of the DRS ability that it gives you, seeing how close you can get, whether you can get up the inside.
I have one major question for you right now. Why is Blood and Sands on the intermediate tyres?
I've just seen that. You must have run out of tyres.
Or he just thought, you know what, I've had enough of this race, I'm going to do this. Or it might be is that a glitch? It can't be a glitch.
I don't know. I've never seen
Codemasters! What are you doing? I think that's pretty much of a statement right now of how this race has gone for most drivers here. Not saying that all drivers have had a few incidents today.
There's still 7 laps left. We're not yet over. So a lot of things to happen in this race. Gave me things right up to the back of Bush here. Dive going to the inside, now starting to press him to the outside. The only route he's allowing him to take. Just get the braking perfect. Just covering the inside line so well. He's a very good defender, Bush.
Oh, Bunton's been disqualified for parking in dangerous location. I think that is basically just said how this race has gone right here, isn't it?
We've got a virtual safety car as well.
I've got nothing telling me there's a virtual safety car.
Okay, yeah, it says at the top left on my screen.
Yeah, I haven't got that. That's a glitch. Zippo. Oh no!
So, speeding on the virtual safety car. I don't know whether it's shown up for him or.
Yeah, it is. He's in the pit lane now.
Right. He tried to. So yeah, it wasn't a factor last year. You could speed under virtual safety car into the pits.
Oh, but hold on. Zippo's gone in for new tyres. So he's still got that drive-through to serve.
Okay. If you're in the red of the delta, then it won't. It'll give you a penalty straight away as soon as you go into the pits.
Yeah, we've gone back to racing now. See this game breeding a lot more issues. You know what? I'm gonna say I think this patch has not worked, Codemasters.
Yeah. Although if they do like 1.17 by the end of next week, then I'll be pretty happy with that.
You know what, mate? To be honest, isn't the esports supposed to be starting next weekend?
Oh really? Oh, I haven't heard about that.
So I'd assume that they will be.
Yeah.
All right, so back on board with the gamey.
Again.
Whoa!
Boosh back to the inside. Okay. Let's see if he goes going all the way around the outside. He's on. Just didn't get the exit he wanted to. Can he get close enough down this straight? Just frustrating the hell out of him, and it can't let him get a good run on corners any of the DRS straights. Doing a very good job.
Right, we do apologise for just losing AJ for a little bit here in the mic. I think that was just down to my connection suddenly going, no, I don't want to hear what AJ has to say, which is normally what I say. Hello, Lonnie. Welcome to joining us tonight on the stream. I am JB, and right now I'm commentating over 11 cars going around the circuit, and it's very interesting to see what's happening. I don't know what to say right now about this race, as Zippo comes through the pit lane again for his penalty, serving it very sportsmanlike, and to be honest I think he's still going to be ahead of Smelly Badger behind him.
It kind of went from on the super soft tyre where everybody was losing the back end to a kind of a good race. It's turned into a very good race in terms of going on the soft or medium tyres, and then everybody's just kind of split strategies and started battling about themselves. It's been brilliant.
Definitely have been. And right now we're looking at a battle for P4, not even for the podiums right now.
Gamey again, third time lucky down this long straight. He's got DRS wide open. Dive pulling into the inside once again. He's got overtake mode on the ERS. Can he go for the cheap line this time? Dive just able to pull out the corner, just able to get the traction down on those medium tyres. Then you get a good extra through this corner. He's just fallen a bit back from Dive. Dive's just got it every time going down this home straight. He's just been able to get the momentum down the straight, and Gamey has no answer to it down the second DRS line.
What Gamey has got to do is that he's got to get even closer to the inside versus Dye, who just goes there. So what Gamey's got to see, there is space on that inside. So right now, Smelly Badger pulls to the outside. Oh, pulls to the outside of Invader Zippo, trying to get past him for P9 right now. Side by side, DRS open on the Renault as he looks at it. Is the Toro Rosso going to give it up? Though I don't think Zippo will give it up much. Yeah, that's just it. Right now, he doesn't need to fight as hard.
Yeah, Smelly Badger on the super softs, just been on them one lap, whereas Zippo's gone back onto the soft tyres, thinking he's got better luck on there, probably a better heat marker for those carcasses, whereas Smelly could run into trouble with those ultra soft tyres very quickly.
Meanwhile, change for P2. Solheim pulls into second place ahead of Yuzi, but Yuzi saying, I'm having none of that, I'm going to try and get past you again. But that's not happening. Back down to the pink car as the pink car tries to get closer. Seems he's struggling. He needs to get to the inside, even further to the inside. Go for it now. He's even further. He's on the inside. Finally, he's on the inside of the Ferrari, and he's trying to have a go, and I think he's got it this time. He has.
Yeah. Well done, Gamey. That definitely paid off. A lot of frustration sitting behind Dye for that long, but he was just able to keep his head, keep his cool, and just find the line eventually past him. Dye's tyres were going to go off eventually. He's done 14 laps on the medium tyres now, compared to Gamey's 6 on his softs. It was going to happen at some point, and Gamey just bided his time and just waited, and he eventually found a way past him. Well done.
It was a good drive there from Gamey. He knew what was happening. It almost looked like Dye thought, you know what, I'll let you through now, I've had enough.
Zippo going back for Smelly Badger. He hasn't been able to get away on his ultra soft tyres, and Zippo's coming back at him. He's going to go around the outside if he's going to go for a move, and Smelly just sitting in the way, sitting on the racing line. And Zippo isn't able to do much about that. He's getting the DRS tow, which is very helpful. He just can't seem to find a way past at the minute. Smelly just able to keep the defensive line when he wants it.
Seems Smelly's able to carry much more speed through the corners of those soft tyres, except for this corner apparently, because look at the speed he gained there. But Zippo is pushing his absolute hardest right now, and they're racing their hearts out as they're heading towards the end of this race. We've only got 3 laps left to go of this Grand Prix, and right now Fredo is in a commanding position after doing a one-stop race, I believe, on those tyres. Let's have a look at the stops quickly. Yeah, 1 stops right now for most of the grid. Fair few going for 3 stops, and I think that's just down to contact and damage. But look at that Badger getting all over the place. But I'll tell you what's happening right now is that Gamey Things is not getting as far away from Daibush as he thought he would be.
Yeah, Daibush just staying in touching distance of Gamey. I think Gamey will just start to pull away ever so surely, but he's just making sure that he's kept in check. He's not going anywhere too far, so if Gamey makes any mistakes, then Dye's going to pick up the pieces from him, no doubt about it. Smelly and Invader Zippo changing places again. I think Zippo just got past him, and Smelly's managed to get back past him again. Zippo just sitting on the back of him, just biding his time. He's going to try and go up the inside. He's forced Badger wide. He's just going to nip it up the inside. Is he going to be able to get this place?
He does,
Smelly
but
coming back after him, but he's just managed to get it, and now he's got him right in his mirrors. Just got to defend down into turn 3, turn 4.
Don't ask me numbers, I know names. Once we get to Monaco, that's about it.
Yeah, and he pulled it off. He's pulling away from Badger now. Badger must have just lost his tyres a little bit. Yeah, you're overheating in those ultra soft tyres. It's very easy to do on this track. Up front, Fredo just controlling the race now, 7 seconds in front of Peter Solheim, who's obviously just, he's been there or thereabouts, but Fredo's just managed to find some consistency and just being able to lead from the front pretty much. Peter Solheim on the soft tyres, which are 4 laps
Oh,
younger.
Zippo's gone very deep, but Smelly Badger's still far away from him, not able to get past him. But this race has been rather messy, and unfortunately it's costing drivers, and drivers are not happy, and I can see it right now. I'm getting messages absolutely on the pop right now, and I must remind drivers, if they are listening to the stream, do not comment in our chat while the race is going on, as we must respect the other drivers who are racing. Anywho, right now, lap 28, and look at that, Fredo, as you said there, AJ, I do apologise for me going silent for a bit, I was trying to sort that out. Fredo is doing a fantastic job there, should be in the Haas, and that'll be a good load of points for the Haas driver.
He's in the Williams, isn't he?
Yeah, he should be in the Haas though, because he joined late to the one-shot qualifying, so he's just placed in a car.
Okay.
Right now, the only battle on track as the race starts to simmer down is Zippo and Smelly Badger, but I think that battle is pretty much spent, as unless there's a big mistake from one of these two, they will not be continuing. I think, sounds mean, but I think that Zippo's got that position right now, but he seems to be making a few more mistakes than he'd like as they're coming towards the end of their lap number 27. We're going to have a look back at the Williams driver, the Haas driver, but I've still got to call him that.
Yeah, Peter Solheim's closing in ever so much, but it's just not. I think Fredo's just led from the front in the last quarter of the race. He's just been able to keep that gap at what it is now.
Yeah, so as you said it, Fredo has done an amazing job. I think he started way down, I think in about P12, I think it was. He was all the way down there. It's a little bit of a lock-up, though. He's knowing he's done enough. The 73 Williams is about to come around, but it's actually the 73 Haas under that car instead. Fredo comes around in his first race for SpeedForce Racing, and he wins in SpeedForce Racing, much like Red Bull, at the first chance he gets at China. Look at that, and Solheim in second from P1. Here's Yuzi in P3. Carrying the championship hopes. I think he may just take the championship lead now. I'm not too sure. Then Gamey in P4, who's done a brilliant job. Shame he wasn't on the... shame he had a pretty bad start. But still. So obviously, if you want to stick with us and continue watching the racing on SpeedForce Racing, the YouTube channel, we will be streaming the Premier Division. We're not sure if we're going to be able to drag AJ up with us over the Premier yet. We go to a different commentary box, so we're not too sure yet if I'm able to drag him around there and have a look as T. Johnson now comes around and finishes in P6. No podium interviews, unfortunately, as I have to do a quick turnaround, especially as we had the delayed start, so I'm just trying to make sure that we can get the other division in as quickly as possible, because they have got things to do. So there they are, finishing the race, and I think who we got last two people coming around will be Smelly Badger and Zippo. Going to go on board with Smelly, but we're going to make sure right at the end we're going to jump up with Farfborough. To get ready to see what will happen at the end of this Grand Prix, as we see Fredo, who will be sporting Williams covers, but will still be in the Haas, and all his points today will be heading to the Haas team. As there he is, Fredo, going to be celebrating his P1 for Fredo on his first time out. Well done, sir. If we'll hear the French national anthem if they could get the licensing for it in this game. But there he is.
Yeah, no, brilliant drive by him. Probably deserves to stand on the top up, especially from all the places to go up in that. Yeah, well deserved to be holding that trophy.
Look at that, a Frenchman, a Norwegian, and a Scotsman. That is the most unorthodox podium you'll see, but it's not as unorthodox as what you'd think. This is SpeedForce Racing, and this is what we do. But there we go. Obviously, all of these results are subject to change after post-race commentary. Post-race penalties. So in P1 was Fredo, from P2 is Pedder, then P3 was Yuzi, P4 was Gamey, and P5 was Dope Boosh. P6 was T. Jonas, P7 was S. Graham, started where he finished. P8 was Linell, and P9 was Zippo. P10, again, starting where he finished, was Smelly Badger. Then it was a bad day for McLaren in P11 and P12, Billy and Seguri. Then the DNFs were Seguri, Jade, Podge, and Blood and Sands. And this is going to be a very controversial race, I think, from this. So, as we're going to get ready to head over to the Premier chat, I'm going to cut the stream in a moment as we head back. Shall we just ask some thoughts, some closing thoughts from you, AJ? Welcome back to commentary, firstly.
Thanks. Well, it's the first time I've co-commentated, but that was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of good races on track.
So, could we expect to see you over here in SpeedForce racing a few times, or are you you're a little bit busy with your homework?
Yeah, I mean, I did it for a bit last season, but I think yeah, new job's a bit full on at the minute. I've got a lot of work to do, so I don't know whether I'll be able to put the time in and the effort to come racing. SNRS is full on as it is, but yeah, maybe in the future, maybe I'll have a look at it.
All right, well, it was wonderful having you, and a nice surprise for me to get that little message from you saying, hey, you know what, I'm free, come over here. And I will gladly have you again if you want to pop over and do some co-commentary. But obviously on the SpeedForce Racing channel, pop over, stay with us if you want to have a look at the Premier Division. We're going to go racing around the same track, China, and we'll see, hopefully, if we can get a qualifying session in this time. So, my name's JB. Again, thank you, AJ, for joining us.
No problem. You're welcome.
And I will see you in a few minutes for the Premier Division, but still. Ta-ra, guys.